Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Python playlist. Now in this video we are going to talk about lists. So developers, those who are aware of any other programming languages must be familiar with the concept of arrays. Now I won't say array is exactly equal to list because there is a lot of difference, but for starter you could start comparing arrays and lists in some of the aspects. Now if you are a new developer and not aware of those concepts, then you don't have to worry about it because this course doesn't have any prerequisite and I will be teaching you everything from scratch. So before we hop into the video, I request you guys to have your full attention and full concentration for this video because list is one of the most common and again the most important data structure that you are going to use in your whole life. So please pay attention and watch till the end. Without dealing any further, let's get started with the very basic question that's popping onto your mind right now. That is, what is a list? Yeah, I'm able to read your mind. I have that ability. So yeah, let's get started. So list can be said as one of the four basic types of built-in data types that is used to store a collection of data. Now other three are basically dictionary, tuples and sets, which we will be discussing in further videos. Now list can be said as a variable where you can store multiple datas. It can be of any data type, it can be a single data type or multiple data types. So now let's talk about syntax of list, how to identify a list, types of list that is present, ways to access the variables from the list, and most importantly, how convenient it is for us to create or access the variables from a list. So talking about syntax of list, it is as simple as L equals to square brackets, that is the variable name equal to square brackets. Anything that is present inside square brackets can be said as part of the list. So this is one of the way to identify whether the variable we are looking at is a list or not. We are just supposed to check whether the data or the values are present inside the square brackets. Another way to do so is we could write print and we could do a type of L. What does this do? This will basically print what type of L variable it is. So here we can see it is printing class list. So talking about various types of lists, we could categorize the list into three different parts. It is 1D list, 2D list and multidimensional list. Now 1D list is such kind of list where we can access the variables directly. That is, the values are present directly inside the square brackets. In case of a 2D list, it could be said as list of lists. That means multiple lists are present inside a single list, or you can say 2D list is basically a list of 1D list. And for multidimensional list, we could say there are various list that is present inside list of list. Now you have to slow it down and listen because this is as easy as I can explain what multidimensional list is. So you could say a 4D list is basically a list of 3D lists. A 5D list is basically a list of 4D lists. So this is how you could represent a multidimensional list. Now I will try to write the code for 1D list and I will show you how to access the values, and after that I will show you how to create 2D list from the 1D list. So basically this is the example of 1D list. Now there are 5 different examples. You could take as many as you want. So L1 is basically a list of integers. L2 is basically a list of strings. L3 is basically a list of boolean values. L4 being list of floats. And L5 is basically mixture of all. Now I haven't added, float value. Why to keep that out? Okay. So this could be also considered as a list. So if you try to do print type of L1, L2, L3 or any of those type, it will always return as class of list because it doesn't matter what values are present inside. So if you are talking about how to access a value from a particular list, it could be done using index. Now if you remember from my second video, I have already talked about how index works. So for your easier understanding, I will explain it to you again. So for the first position, you have to take it as 0 index. For arrays, for lists, for any kind, like in any programming language you are working, arrays and lists always start with the 0th index. So to access the first position, you have to access it using L of 0. To access the nth position, you have to access it using L of n minus 1. So it is printing 1 in here. Why is this the case? Because L1 of 0th index is this one. So let's try to do L3 of 4th index. Now this will give list out of index because it is having only 4 values, that is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So it will always try to accept values that is less than the size of the list. Yeah. So it is returning true in here. Suppose I want to add another thing, that is L5 of, I'm adding 3 randomly in here. Okay, I'm adding 2 and let's try to run this. So you can see it is printing hello because 0, 1 and the second index contains of hello. So this is basically how you could access a one day list. Now talking about two-day list, as I said earlier, it is a list of one day list. So let's take L6 as an example and you could say L1 comma L2. So here L6 and L7 are basically two-day lists where they are containing various one-day lists. So let's try to print L6 and similar way I will try to, okay, my bad. Here L7. Let's try to print those two. As you can see, the first is basically list of L1 and L2, that is two different lists. Second is basically a list of L3, L4, L5. So if you want to access a value, suppose you want to access this 3.4 value. Where is it present? It is present in L7. So you have to go to L7, print L7. Now what is the index of this particular array, that is list? So this list is present in first position, that is 0 and 1, that is 1 index. So you have to specify index number 1 in here. Now you want to access this particular value. So where is this particular value present? It is again present in first index of this L4 array. So you have to give 1 in here. Now let's save it and run this. Yeah, there we go. Here we are able to access the value, that is 3.4. So let's try to write now multidimensional list or 3D list. Now I will be using L8 as an example and I am making a list of L6 comma L7. So this is again a list. Now if we print it out, print L8. Yeah, as you can see, it is basically printing list of lists. So this is what we mean by a 3D list. Do you understand? So I want you guys to print the type of variable, that is L8 and L7, and let me know in the comment section whether it's a class of list or it is class of list comma list or it is class of 2D list. What is exactly printing? Okay. Now talking about various properties of the list, we could say the items of the list are ordered. It means the items have a very definite order and the order will not change. So in case we are adding new elements to the list, the new elements will be always placed at the end of the list. Now we could also say lists are changeable or mutable. That means we could add and remove items from the list even after the list has been created. Duplicate values are allowed to store in the list, and moreover we can access any of the element in O of one time complexity as long as we are aware of its position or the index of the element. So that's all for this video guys. In the next video we are going to talk about various ways to extract data from the list and various built-in methods that's present in Python for lists. I hope you had a very clear understanding of what lists are, the ways to access elements from the list and various types of lists that is present. So if you like the video, then please hit the like button, subscribe and share it among your friends. If you have any kind of suggestions, feedbacks or doubt, feel free to reach out to me through YouTube comments or my LinkedIn, or you can even mail me. So I hope you enjoyed this video so far and it was informative enough for you. So bye guys, see you in the next video.